Live?
Yes, sir.
Shalom, y'all. Y'all smart about y'all. This is Queen I.S.U.P.K headquarters, Queens class. We're gonna get right into it. We're gonna go into quarantine. I know everything with the COVID-19, the Omicron variant, all this other. Quarantine is not the white man's science. Everything comes from the Bible. Like everything else in this world, especially in America, that was stolen from black people. Rap, jazz, rock and roll, hip hop. You know, and the way we dress, the way we speak, everything that we do, even the vaccine itself.
Right.
The invention of vaccines was created by a slave.
Right.
And so that's black man's science, and it's in the Bible. Quarantine. Back in the Bible, they were called being a leper. If someone had leprosy, they were they were quarantined. I mean, they couldn't come around the people. Just like nowadays with COVID, you got to quarantine for 10 days. You got to stay away for 10 days or 14 days, something like that. Right. You got to go get tested, get a doctor. Back then, in the biblical time, we went to the priest.
Right.
And the priest looked at us and looked at our skin and looked at our boils and whatever we had, and they examined. They decided we were back with ready to come back into the nation. So I'm just gonna go over real quick some scriptures on quarantine, how we used to do it back in the Bible. Go to 2 Kings 15:5 one time if you could, about short parts of that.
Come. 2 Kings 15:5. And the Lord smote the king, so that he was a leper unto the day of his death.
And the Lord did this to them. That's another thing. Illnesses come from the Most High.
Right.
You get sick, you get COVID, you get AIDS, and something like that. That came from the Lord.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord wants you to have that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But so God smoked the king that he was a leper. Read on.
And dwelt in a several house.
And dealt in a several house. When it says a several house, it means a house apart. That's what the word several means in this context. He dealt outside of the camp. Read on.
And Jothan.
Stop right there. So he was put outside of the house, but everybody else was there. So that he would what? Because he's what? Contagious. It's like with COVID. That's where they're getting it from. Right. This is science in the Bible. Right. You know what I mean? You got to get quarantined. You got to get separated. It's like a woman on her flower. She got to be separated. So all the impurities coming on her won't get on nobody else. Right. If you're in the room with a dead body, you're unclean for 7 days. Right. So that way, wherever that dead person died from, don't get on you, and now you infect this person, the next man, and all that. It's quarantine. That's the scriptures. Go to Leviticus 13:2. Leviticus 13:2.
No.
Read what you got.
Come. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 2. When a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scab, a bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of a leprosy.
And so you got skin like the plague of a leprosy. Read on.
Then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priest.
That was how it was done back in the day. We went to the priest and they examined us. Nowadays you do what? Go to the doctor. You got a cough, there's COVID going on, cough. What's the symptoms of COVID? You out of breath, you fatigued and all that.
Can't smell.
Flu. You can't smell then your senses. Go to the doctor, man. That's in the scriptures. Go to the damn doctor. It ain't gonna hurt. You know, stop being a baby. You know, you're not a baby. You know what I mean? Don't start before you infect somebody else. You know.
That's right.
Verse 3. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in the sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy.
That's what makes you a leper. Read on.
And the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean.
And that's like that. You're unclean. Now you got COVID. You're unclean. You got corn. You got to stay away from the brother. You got to tell the gentleman, man, I got COVID-19. This happened to me. So that's why they know how to deal with you, but you don't affect nobody else. Read on.
Verse 4. If the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and in sight be not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague 7 days.
Read on.
Verse 5. And the priest shall look on him the 7th day, and behold, if the plague in his sight be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days.
Seven more days that he got to go through this more separation. Read on.
7 days more. Verse 6. And the priest shall look on him again the 7th day. And behold, if the plague be somewhat dark, and the plague spread not in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean.
The priest shall pronounce him clean. Now he's clean again, because now the skin is dark again. Right. We have brown skin. Right. You know what I mean? So if your skin's turning white, something wrong. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, you're not born albino. If you're born albino, that's the thing. It's a clean leopard. When your whole body is just white, hair and everything. But when you're brown skin, like when God cursed Miriam with leprosy because she went against Moses, she had brown skin and it turned white. And when the priest see that's now turned white again, now it's turned brown, now you're clean again. Read on.
It is but a scab, and he shall wash his clothes, and be clean.
He shall wash. It's called wash. We invented washing through the Most High, God, of course. I said, but we invented washing. Before Israelites, people were dirty. Mm-hmm. You mean look at our oppressor, man. He's living in the mountains and caves, eating out of skulls and eating lice and all that, anything he can find. And they're just dirty. I mean, women was being separated on a monthly. We just dirty. It's the dirty people. Israel, we brought in washing. We brought in cleanliness. That's right. Being sanitary. That's what we did. And that's what they get to say, putting hand sanitizer on, wash your hands thoroughly, wash your hands for 20 seconds, hand sanitizer, put a mask on, and all that. All that comes from the Bible, man. All that being clean comes from, they get it from us, like how they got everything else from us. So don't think, there's not the white man science. Don't think, I ain't going to, that's the white man science. That car you drive, that's the white man car. What about that cough strip you take? Right. You know what I'm saying? What about, you're gonna vaccinate your kids for measles and chicken pox and all that? You're gonna let your kid get measles and chicken pox? You're gonna vaccinate your kid now? You know what I mean? That's the white man science. That airplane you get on, that's white man science too, right? You ain't afraid gonna crash and burn and all that. You know what I'm saying? You're not afraid. You might as well sit in your house and be like hermit. You're afraid of the white man science. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's just foolishness. It's foolishness not to take vaccines and things like that, things that make you healthy. Go to verse 31.
Verse 31.
SHALAM, you said that was Leviticus 13:31?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Sorry, verse 29. SHALAM.
Come. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 29. If a man or woman have a plague.
What's a plague? Somebody give me a definition of plague.
Get your phones out.
Plague. What does plague mean? What's a plague? Just so people will know. What's a plague? I know the Bible uses words that we don't really use.
Get the phones out. Get the phones out. What's a plague?
Plague. Ayashala.
A contagious bacterial disease characterized by fever and delirium.
See that disease? That's a plague. We don't watch this out.
Upon the head or the brow, beard.
Read on.
Verse 30. Then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow than hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean.
That's another way you got a plague in your beard on top of your head, yellow than hair. Our hair is black or brown. We don't have yellow hair. So that's a plague that's in your head. The priest gonna pronounce you unclean, or the doctor will say you're unclean. Read on.
It is a dry skull. Is it a dry skull? Even a leprosy upon the head or beard.
Read on.
Verse 31. And if the priest look on the plague of the skull, and behold, it be not in sight deeper than the skin, and that there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut up him, not have the plague of the skull 7 days.
See that? Now you gotta be separated. That's how the Lord dealt with that. 7 days you're separated. Now the white man says you gotta be separate. Was it 10 days?
Concert.
10 days you gotta be separate. You gotta quarantine for 10 days and get tested again. Make sure you don't have COVID-19. That's today. They get it from the Bible. This is black man science, not white man science. Means quarantine. That's something they don't give them credit for that. You know what I mean? We like everything else we done there. We built this country. We beat up. We did everything. Anything that's good and decent on this earth and properly born on this earth, we did. Blacks are spending the American co-op.
So I can actually 14 days, sir.
It's 14 days quarantine. All right, 14 days. All right. Drop down to verse drop down to verse 44.
44. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 44. He is a leprous man. He is a leprous man. He is unclean.
So just like you get sick, you get AIDS, you get COVID-19, you do something like that, you're unclean. You can't be around people. That's how we have things. If you have sex with your woman, you're unclean until the sun goes down. You know, because fluids are coming out of you. You know what I mean? So you gotta separate. You gotta wash yourself. You gotta be separated from people. We don't.
The priest shall pronounce him utterly unclean.
You don't.
His plague is in his head. Verse 45. And the leopard in whom the plague is, his clothes shall be rent, and his head bare, and he shall put a covering upon his upper lip, and shall cry, unclean, unclean.
The leper guy cry unclean, unclean. He has to let everybody know he's unclean. Don't we do that in the I.S.U.P.K?
Right.
We say it's a high holiday, but brother has sex with his mom, something like that. Something happened, accidentally ate pork or touched something that's unclean. You know what I'm saying? But we say, Shalom, I'm unclean, but I'm unclean. Don't we do that? That's in the Bible. For sure.
Oh, and a brother's waiting to enter the school, and people are trying to dab him up. And he's saying, "I can't salute you right now."
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm unclean right now. And that happened to me at the last Passover. We had to go to the hotel in Queens. I wanted to sleep one of the captains. Said I'm unclean. He must have been with a woman last night, so he waited till the sun go down. You know what I mean? That's what we do. We announce things. We announce that we're unclean. We keep everybody healthy. That's the Bible. That's white. That's black people science, not white man science. Go to Leviticus 14. Let me see. No. Go to Leviticus 15, Slock it. 15 verse 19.
15 and 19. Leviticus chapter 15, verse 19. And if a woman have an issue in her flesh, be blood.
What's that issue in her flesh? What is that? You look on.
Menstrual cycle.
A menstrual cycle. That's right. Read on.
She shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever toucheth her shall be unclean until the even.
I get that right. So if your woman get on her cycle, you touch her, you're unclean until the even. You're unclean until the sun goes down. You can't touch anything she touches. You can't touch anything she sits upon. Read on.
Verse 20. And everything that she lieth upon in her separation,
right? Quarantine. Read on.
shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean.
Read on.
Verse 21. And whosoever touches her bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water. Bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even.
Why do black man saying that? Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Put hand sanitizer on. Man, I had one slave I had, not slave I'm on now, but the slave I was on. When you came in, you had to put hand sanitizer in your hand. Put hand sanitizer. You had to wipe down the surfaces. Like whoever was first in the office had to put the disinfectant on all the surfaces, wipe it down, or whatever. Could be used. Everybody sharing copy machines and paper, and so we touching things that other people touch. That's science. That's in the Bible. God, y'all. The how you expression against
The
locker.
all y'all.
The all y'all. It's locker. Go ahead.
Some black people houses or Israelite houses, you can't even go inside the house without taking your shoes off.
Yeah, some people don't like that because they don't want you tracking nothing from what you wearing outside. You have dog doodle on your thing, you know, you don't want that inside your house. Or nowadays some used condom or crack vial or something like that, have a needle or something like that when you buy the shoes. So hey, take your shoes off.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people do that. I mean, yeah, that's quarantine. Go ahead.
One more, so it's like it, and like you stay the night at your friend's house or something. My mother should make me shake my clothes and put them in a bag before I come into the house. Just bed bugs and
I don't know your friends. I ain't raised them. You know what I mean? I don't know what they be doing over there. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's being cleanly. That's clean. That's washing. We invented washing. We don't where we left off at?
22.
Go ahead.
Verse 22. And whosoever toucheth anything that she sat upon shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening.
Keep going.
Verse 23. And if it be on her bed or on anything wherein she sitteth, when he toucheth it, he shall be unclean until the evening.
You're unclean until the sun goes down. That's when you're unclean. So nowadays, the sun goes down early. So something happened at 12 o'clock. The sun goes down at 4 now, something like that. So to 4 o'clock, you're unclean. Now in the summertime, you gotta wait till like 8:30 at night. Sometimes the sun goes down 8:30 at night sometime. Yeah, something like, yeah, go ahead, process.
Oh, Shalakia, so you said, so if the person become unclean at let's say 12 p.m., when the sun goes down at 5 o'clock p.m., he's clean again.
He's clean, he come in the congregation.
Come.
All right, well, we're gonna drop that, go to Numbers 5. Five and 2.
Come. Numbers chapter 5 verse 2. Command the children of Israel that they put out of the camp every leopard and everyone that haveth a issue, and whosoever is defiled by the day.
Put out the camp every leopard, anybody who has an issue, COVID-19. You gotta let people know in the school. You get COVID-19, you gotta open up your mouth and say, I got COVID-19, I got tested positive. So you can't come in here until everything's resolved. Process.
Salakia, so if I may, about a year ago, it was that issue in New York when they couldn't, there was a lady complaining because I think her husband or one of her kids had died of coronavirus and they couldn't pick up the dead body.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, they had things like that happening. Got coronavirus. This person, my aunt's husband died like that of COVID-19, and he was in the house like dead. They had to come pick it. You know what I mean? Because it's special precautions now. It's not like a regular dead body anymore. You know what I mean? So that's something you got a dead body in the room over there, and you can't do nothing with it. You know what I mean? Read on.
Verse 3. Both male and female shall ye put out without the camp. Without the camp shall ye put them, that they defile not their camps in the midst whereof I dwell.
So they said they don't defile the camp, but they'll make the rest of the camp what? Sick. You know what I mean? That's quarantine in the Bible. You know what I mean? It makes sense. That's where the white man's getting it from. That's where our person gets it from. That's where Dr. Fauci and or they get it from. You know what I mean? I know they went to med school and all that, but that's they get the basis is this.
Right.
Go to
So if I may,
Go ahead.
was that just Numbers 5 and 2?
5, 2 to 3. Go to Numbers 31 and 19.
Con. 31 and 19. Numbers chapter 31 verse 19. And do ye abide without the camp 7 days. Whosoever have killed any person.
This is dealing with dead people now. Read on.
And whosoever have touched any slave,
Touch any dead person. Read on.
purify both yourself and your captive on the third day and on the seventh day.
You gotta wash it, you gotta make yourself clean. Go to Deuteronomy 23.
Oh, God.
What was that? Deuteronomy what?
23 and 10.
Oh, God. Deuteronomy 23 and 10. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 10. If there be among you any man that is not clean by reasons of uncleanness, that chanceth him by night.
Now, if you got unclean by somebody, you know, had wet dreams, something like that, somebody you got unclean during the night. Read on.
Then shall he go abroad out of the camp. He shall not come within the camp.
So you're right. Yes, time. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you can't come into school now because you're unclean. Like how me and Shaw was just talking about before. You try to super, I'm unclean, but I'm unclean. You know what I'm saying? You get COVID-19, you got to call the general. Let you can't really know. I tested positive with COVID-19. My wife got COVID-19. This happened. This happened. This happened. That happens. That way everybody knows. Everybody knows what's going on. That person can't come into the school until he's what? Clean. He's cured. He went away. Read on.
Verse 11. But it shall be when evening cometh on, he shall wash himself with water, and when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again.
Y'all get that, right? There's a few more scriptures if I could. Go to 2 Chronicles. 2 Chronicles. Let me see. All right. So that's not right. Oh, yeah. Damn. That was a scripture.
But if I could, sir, what's so heavy about the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, is letting you know that science is just now catching up.
Exactly.
To the Bible.
Right. Yeah, damn right. Damn right.
The Bible's always taught science. You know what I'm
right.
saying? They just now knowing how to wash and bathe with soaps and oils, all that. The Lord's been told us how to keep clean and everything.
That's exactly. That's a good point. Drop Chronicle. Go to Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 38th chapter.
Ecclesiasticus 38.
38 verse 1.
Okay.
38 verse 1.
Ecclesiasticus 38 and 1.
38 and 1.
SHALAM.
What you got?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 38 verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the use which he may have of him. For the Lord have created him.
God created doctors, man. Honor a physician, the honor to do them. Go to the damn doctor, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get yourself checked out. You know what I'm saying? It'd be very badly a yearly physical, see what's going on with you. You mean most disease can be put away with if you catch it early enough. So get yourself checked out. Just with this COVID-19 thing going on, all that. You mean, you never know what's going on. So if you got a cough, a nagging cough won't go away, or something something unusual about you nowadays. I mean, wherever the symptoms of COVID are, go out to get checked out. You might just test positive. And now that's brotherhood as well too, and sisters. That keeps the brothers and sisters around you healthy and safe. You know what I mean? Read on.
Verse 2. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king.
Read on.
Verse 3. The skills of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be a admiration.
Read on.
Verse 4. The Lord have created medicine out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them.
I said, the Most High created medicine, man. There's ain't nothing wrong with the vaccines, not the mark of the beast and nothing like that. 666 Illuminati. People come up with all kinds of stuff. They'll put a microchip in your arm.
Right.
All kinds of stuff people going to process.
Oh, you become a zombie.
Become a zombie, you know that they're gonna be tracking you, brother. You know what I mean? They're gonna be tracking everywhere you go, but you can't take that vaccine, man. That's the white man medicine.
Right.
You know what I mean? All kinds of stuff. They're gonna know where you at. You know what I mean? If, I guess if you're a felon or something, you're a lifetime criminal. That could be subject concern. You know,
So I met this girl like last week, and I told her I took the vaccination. She said, "Yo, how you gonna take the vaccination? You gonna turn into a zombie in the end, right?" I said, "I'm gonna go on with this." I'm talking to you.
Exactly. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The Most High created medicine, man. You know what I mean? That's the trees are for medicine. That's where all medicines come from. The herbs, the plants, and things like that. I mean, I see people afraid smoking that weed though. I see that. You know, they ain't afraid of that weed. They ain't afraid of that crack pipe. Are they? That heroin needle, are they? But COVID-19 been proven safe and all that.
Yeah, Salaki, so if I may, you see smokers pull the mask down so they can smoke their cigarette and put it back up and finish.
Ain't COVID-19 a respiratory illness and all that? Cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? But you afraid of medication. That's his food, man. You don't pour medication, you know.
Salaki. And on the cigarette box, it says it's gonna kill you.
Exactly. Yeah, it says it's gonna cause cancer. The Surgeon General says that it will cause cancer. That's just a demon anyway. I mean, you want to die. You just want to die. That's all. Go ahead.
It's like I had one more thing about the brotherhood with the if you unclean, you should let somebody know. One of the brothers in our Hebrew Academy was unclean. He's still unclean. He has like coronavirus. I made sure the next day because I was in the same car as him. I got checked.
Exactly.
I took my day off of work.
Yes. That's right.
And only reason I didn't tell the brothers because I came back not detective. If I would have been detective, I would have told everybody.
Exactly. That's what we're supposed to do. Drop down to verse 9.
Khan. Ecclesiasticus.
No, forget that. Now, the mark of the beast, right? This is the sidebar. I'm gonna finish up with it. Where's the mark of the beast scripture? Revelation 13.
I'll get to you.
The mark of the beast. Let me explain the mark. People say that's I'm sure Alex Jones and a lot of people say the microchip and all that, and they're gonna inject some of the vaccines, the mark of the beast, and things like that. You know, I'm just gonna explain the mark to finish. I'm just gonna explain what the mark of the beast is. It's not medication. You know what I'm saying? It's not medication. Right?
So you're saying it's not a microchip?
Mark of the beast?
Yeah.
13 and 16.
13. Everybody go to Revelation 13 and say, no, it's not a microchip.
It's not?
No. Right.
It's not my cell phone or the 5G tower?
No, it is not. It's not your credit card that you have a chip in it now. The debit card, my debit card has a chip in it. And when you put in things, it has a chip in it, right?
It's like you said, if I may, and people are so like superstitious and crazy, they say they're gonna track you. You're on social media.
Exactly.
Cell phone. Like you say, your wallet with your chip, they can track the things you carry with you every day.
Exactly, that's cell phone, yeah.
So it's madness.
Exactly. Modern cell phones have GPS on it. They will find you. They will triangulate your position. They will find you. Don't pay your taxes. They're gonna find you. They're gonna find you. They're gonna find you. They're gonna bring you back from whatever country you try to flee to and make an example out of you. You know what I mean?
So don't pay child support to come for you.
The child support, you going to jail.
Right.
You know what I mean? You ain't gonna worry about no chip because you won't be allowed to have cell phone or anything like that. You be in jail for sure.
So you're saying the vaccine is not the mark of the beast?
No, it's not the mark of the beast. Where's 13 and 16? Where's that? Beach you got 13 and 16, right?
Revelations chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Read on.
Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
So that mark could be, the point was that mark in your right hand and in your forehead. What's that mark in your hand? Yahshua.
Is that the actions you take with your hands?
Exactly. Like people have to say, remember, Bible written in slang by black people, but Spanish, Native American. We talking spiritual talk. See, maybe not people say, my right hand man, you my right hand man.
Right.
You know what I mean? That marking, you in the fight. If you join a white man's military, you got the mark. His police force. You want to become a politician or something like that, you have the marketing. You're gonna push their agenda. You know what I mean? You can't go into the police and say, I'm gonna be a good cop, I'm not gonna assault black people. No, you'll be bad at your job. You know what I mean? They'll fire you because you're not giving out enough tickets or you ain't beating nobody up lately, nothing like that. You know what I mean? You guys get the opposite of what they tell you. And that mark on your forehead, that's Christianity. You know what I mean? That white Caesar boys there, Jesus, to say he's the son of God. We should worship white people and things like that. You know what I mean? That's the mark on your forehead. They're philosophies, not a vaccine.
Salaki, so if I may, that's like the politicians always say, well, I can change the system within.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna get to the system changes now, man. We gotta do what we did in Egypt. We cried inside by reason of bondage to the Most High, then the Most High had respect unto us.
That's right.
That's what we got to do. And it's not enough of that. We're doing it in I.S.U.P.K, but we need more.
Right.
You know, we need the Christian church to be shut down, the Muslim mosque to be shut down, and all that. So that's the mark of the beast. You know.
It says, Salaki, if I may, also on their foreheads, isn't not just Christianity, it's Islam, the Kemetic science, and all the other crap.
Any false doctrine. Because all of it is just Christianity anyway, bringing people together and all that. It's just this Christianity under different names. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's Christianity, it's the white man's the New World Order, things like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the philosophy in your head. It's not a microchip.
And in a way, if you like in a debate, and the way you could prove it, just going to say something, is Christianity is the religion that bringing everybody together. So anything that following that is Christianity.
Exactly.
Sloppy, sir. If I may, can you break down the right hand again?
The right hand, like the actions you take. You know what I'm saying? Like the actions you take is right hand. Like, but people, like I said, people say my right hand man, you my right hand man.
Right.
He's on my right. When we pledge allegiance, but we just take our right hand. Put it here, like remember back in elementary school, you know, you put your hand right here. You know what I mean? That's what that marking your right hand. That's the marking. That's the actions you take to push this our oppressor's agenda. Right. That's the right to push Christian, to push white Jesus.
Right.
And the Roman Catholicism, things like that.
Or even using your fingers, your right hand, to pull a trigger for the white man.
Exactly. Joining his army, his navy, his marines. You know what I mean? His police force, anything like that, space force. Anything like that you do to protect this nation, protect this America, specifically America, not just all white people, but specifically America's agenda.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the market.
Right.
It's not a microchip. It's not. You know, when people say that it's gonna control you and things like that, you gonna put.
Right.
I mean, can't you just dig that thing out? Get somebody to hold your hand out, dig it out your damn skin.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, it's not. I mean, because you got chips in your credit card, you got chips in your phone, TV. You know what I mean, and everything. They can track you everywhere you go. I mean, you got Easy Pass. I mean, I remember when I first got Easy Pass. I said, I got the tour bus. You don't want this one. You know where you be going.
Okay.
So you mean I was wrong for smoking weed and watching all the conspiracy theories on television?
Yes, you were wrong. You know, the vaccine is not conspiracy theory. Don't be a conspiracy nut. Things like that. Smoking weed is definitely wrong. Cigarettes is wrong. Ain't smoking anything is wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? People kill me. They're afraid of the vaccine, but they will smoke cigarettes and smoke weed and crack and all that.
Right.
That's one.
Slucky, so recently it came on the news that the marijuana is being laced with, I think, methanol.
Fentanyl, yeah.
And they still smoke.
You're damn right.
My sister was smoking weed the other day. Like,
yeah, it's a demon. It's just a demon when you're gonna die. Demons, that's what demons they make you want to kill yourself. But you're not gonna go buy a gun and blow your brains out. You're just doing it slower. You know what I mean? You're not gonna jump off the Empire State Building, but you will smoke weed until you die, or you will smoke cigarettes until you die. Shock walk.
So Friday I was getting on a bus, and the bus driver, I didn't have my face mask all the way up, and the bus driver said, "Oh, you want to jeopardize everything?" Got into a whole big thing because he's so afraid of his vaccine. And I mean, of the are you vaccinated and all this crazy stuff, and he's like, "You gotta put your mask on." I had to get off the bus because of this guy. He's a nut.
Yeah. That's right. Y'all something you want to say?
Counselor, a few weeks ago, I came across an article where scientists, I believe that it was a university, I think in California, or in Miami, in the called the Miami Herald,
Uh-huh.
came out that people who use drugs and smoke are at greater risk of getting coronavirus.
Yes.
Even if they were already fully vaccinated.
Yes, that's right.
And then it said that if you smoke marijuana, you are at even greater risk of getting reinfected, even if you already had the vaccine.
That's right. The weed, but in America do make weed legal.
Yeah.
Weed, gummy bears, and all that.
Sure.
Go ahead.
They're also now creating. Well, this has already been a fact. But my job, we work with a drug and HIV-related community. My company is now going to be having houses and locations where people can go and use heroin in a safe environment, where they can get their heroin tested to see if it's laced, so that way they can use it in a safe environment, and they call that harm reduction.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. Like, you're going smoking anyway, so let's make it harm reduction. Let's make a place for the kids to go. Man, make it part of the after-school program. You know what I mean? You're making all after-school program. They're going to smoke that heroin. See, this heroin not going to be laced, though. See, this is good heroin. You know what I mean? It's Egypt all over again, Babylon all over again, Sodom and Gomorrah all over again. Well, that's what you say?
Salakia, sir, if I may, to Officer Shaw, they already have that in Broadway Lafayette. That's fine. You get dope and methadone.
Yeah, see that?
They already have it.
You think all out?
Now, I just want to crazy. Double back on what you were saying about like the suicide thing. Like when I was in the world, I was a filthy gangbanger, and I knew I was gonna die sooner or later, but I didn't care because I wanted to die.
Exactly, yeah. You won't kill yourself, but eventually somebody kill you. You know what I'm saying? That's just the death wish, man. But we're gonna end the class with that. Pay your tithes. Pay your tithes. Support this truth. Support the man of the Lord. We can't be your soldiers. We can finance the war. You know what I mean? We can finance. We can pay your tithes. Give donations. Support these brothers and sisters out here. Donate food. Donate clothes. Do what you can do. Support this truth. You know what I'm saying? Don't give your money to Christian church, because they're gonna remember about Rolls Royces and all that, Benzes and everything. Look at Creflo Dollar, look at TD Jakes. Look at look at all that. Look at Joe Osteen, who won't open his church doors for you if there's another hurricane or something like that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But he got thousands of followers. Y'all what's up?
Sorry, I read an article that they busted his door, his wall. They found cash and papers and checks.
Yeah.
In his house.
Yeah, that's right.
It's one of his handy.
Damn right. Anyway, so we're gonna end it with that. Y'all watch me thug, y'all smoke that much from y'all shot.